Bianca's mother, Bianca Jones, had just dropped a bombshell at the murder trial of DeAndre Lane, who stands accused of beating their 2-year-old daughter, Bianca, to death after she wet the bed.
And you believe that your child is alive and still missing, correct?
Absolutely.
And Bianca's belief that Bianca really was abducted during a carjacking, just like DeAndre says, is supported in another courtroom bombshell from Nikki Gibbs, who was on patrol for the Detroit Police Department when she claims she saw Bianca alive. And that was just a little more than a week after DeAndre is alleged to have murdered the child.
I kind of looked again. I said, wait a minute.
Nikki, now retired from the force, says she had been called to a home to investigate a reported disturbance.
And then, as we were in the course of just speaking random, this baby comes out of the room.
Nikki says it didn't occur to her at the time that the child might be Bianca.
It wasn't until 2 days later, when hindsight hit you, that you figured out it was Bianca Jones.
That is correct.
Nikki says that's when she just happened to see a photo of the missing toddler on her computer.
I said, that's the little girl that was in that house.
Right down to the distinctive hairdo.
And she had cornrows, French braids. And they were pulled in 2 ponytails with beads on the end. And she came out like this, like she was crying.
Nikki immediately reported the sighting to detectives handling Bianca's case, only to be told they were already convinced the child was dead.
And the reaction is no, she's dead?
Yeah, it was, as a matter of fact, she's dead.
The prosecution still hammers away at the retired officer for not reporting the alleged sighting the day it happened.
You would have been required to hold that scene until other officers could get there and investigate, wouldn't you?
That is correct.
But you didn't do that, did you?
No, I did not.
Because you didn't believe when you were in the house with that child that it was Bianca Jones.
Correct.
But Nikki remains convinced it was Bianca.
You were 100% sure that was the child?
That was the child, yes.
I mean, there was no doubt in your mind?
There was no doubt in my mind.
Several other people would also report seeing Bianca alive since her disappearance. One of them, Michael Salisbury, a court-appointed investigator for DeAndre's defense, who followed up on Nikki Gibbs' alleged sighting.
So I went up there and saw the child with my own eyes.
Salisbury says he had no doubt it was Bianca, but there was something strange and different about the child.
A little girl dressed up as a little boy with her eyebrows shaved. I mean, one of the distinct physical characteristics of baby Bianca was her thick, bushy eyebrows. And even with the shaved eyebrows, to me, that was a little girl.
And did it register right away that that's Bianca?
It did to me, yes. So that's all the little girl I knew.
Salisbury asked police to get a search warrant for the house, but like Nikki Gibbs, he says they brushed him aside.
They look at you like you're crazy or you don't know what you're talking about. They didn't want to hear it.
Why do you think that is?
Sometimes with the police and even with the prosecutors, they think we've got our man, we don't want to hear nothing else. They just ignore you.
So no warrant was issued?
No.
Amazingly, the defense didn't put Salisbury on the stand and admits it may have been a bad mistake because there would be no further testimony about Bianca possibly being alive, leaving the prosecution plenty of room to continue to say DeAndre lied to cover up her murder.
The defendant is going to have you believe that 2 carjackers turned from carjackers to child abductors in a 6-block ride.
And in a dramatic courtroom moment, the child's grandmother, Bianca's mother, stops to confront DeAndre after stepping down from the witness stand.
Your Honor.
Reportedly saying, "Where is she? Tell me where she is."
She told me that she would tell them anything she thought would hurt him. She just doesn't like him. She has never liked him.
But DeAndre's defense would argue there was no proof Bianca was dead.
So I focused the jury on the fact, show me a body before you can go down a road of conviction.
DeAndre's fate hangs in the balance as the jury returns to deliver its verdict.
How do you find the defendant, DeAndre Lewis Lane as to count 1, homicide, felony murder as to Bianca Lily Jones. Guilty.
I'm not gonna say I was shocked. I was just hurt. You know, I hurt for that guy.
And DeAndre tells me in this telephone interview that he was furious.
You're telling me in a situation where you don't have a confession, a body, or any form of evidence that I'm guilty. How is that justice? How is that fair?
Then Judge Vonda Evans unloads on DeAndre before sentencing him to life in prison without parole for first-degree felony murder and first-degree felony child abuse of his daughter.
You figured that a city plagued with violence, who would care about the disappearance of your child? But you were wrong. You were wrong.
But DeAndre fires back at the judge and jury.
You were the only ones who said she's dead. No one got on that stand and said she was dead. No one said they found evidence to prove she was dead. My daughter is alive. She is missing. She will be found.
And DeAndre has one parting shot for Judge Evans as he's led away.
Judge Evans, you had words for her.
I called her a liar.
No, you're a liar.
Judge Evans is furious.
Bring him back out here.
And she has the final word.
It's very unfortunate that you made that statement, but I'm only going to attribute it to the fact that you're a person that is suffering very deeply. Take him out of here. Take him out. Take him out.
But while DeAndre's trial is over, the mystery of what happened to Bianca only grows deeper and darker.
My daughter's murderer, quote unquote, has been convicted, but she's not even legally dead.
Next, DeAndre's attorney claims to have uncovered shocking new information he says could link Bianca's mom to the child's disappearance.
They told me that they believe I took my daughter and I'm hiding her to punish DeAndre.
Terry Johnson says the information he's discovered explains those reported sightings of Bianca alive and well at this house.